It is the end of November, and that means tomorrow you'll see fewer beards out there, including Casey's.
We'll see. Maybe I'll let it last the weekend. But hopefully the beards, the hair that has been blazing America has helped spark a conversation about men's health. That was its intent. There are so many resources out there to help men start conversations. This is one that I found to be very beneficial. It's healthymenmichigan.org. There's a very simple mental health assessment test on there that'll help tell you whether or not you are prone to depression or starting to show signs, and then it'll offer some resources to help. I took the assessment. It took me 2 minutes, 13 seconds to finish. Very simple. Now, Eric Hipple is a big advocate for the mental health assessment testing. You might remember the name. He was the Lions quarterback from 1980 to 1989. Well, he keeps track of different stats these days. No more interceptions or touchdowns. Now it's about conversations and lives.
Eric Hipple starts today at quarterback for the Lions.
On the back of his player card, Eric Hipple was a man's man, 6'2", 198 pounds.
Hipple again to throw.
At his peak, Hipple was what most men dreamed of being.
Touchdown.
At rock bottom, it was another story.
I jumped out of a car that was going 75 miles an hour. My wife was driving.
A quick note. I'm sorry. I love you. Eric Hipple woke up in a hospital bed, parents and psychiatrists by his side.
I flat out told my parents, if you ever do that, I'll never talk to you again, and I don't need a psychiatrist. And so he went away. You just jumped out of a car. I don't need a psychiatrist. So it seems really funny when you say it now.
It was stigma, he says.
I was extremely happy with my wife, extremely happy with my family, but dead in here.
Stigma sparked 7 years before when his identity began to slip.
It was mid-season, and that day that I went to the office and you're cut. And
stigma that held back an honest conversation. 3 years after his own attempt, Hipple's son killed himself, never knowing his father had tried the same.
Inside, you're falling. All the strings are cut loose and you're going down. And there's nothing to grab onto, hang on to. And you're gonna hit the bottom sometime, and it's just a free fall. Not knowing what's gonna come next, just knowing that you're in a hole.
Jeff was 15. Hipple carries that guilt with him now. Through years of downward spiraling, he found an inner peace. Now he works as an educator with Eisenhower's After the Impact.
Came out with great outcomes.
His approach to mental health is unique to him, helping men start an uncomfortable conversation.
Let's talk about a game plan. Okay, so that means it's about information. If I know what the defense is going to do to me, then I can have a better offense.
If there's a problem, find it, fix it, and know that there are resources out there to come up with a resolution.
How would your family feel if the day that you die, 2 days later, somebody announces a cure for something?
He's still calling the shots, setting it up so men can understand it.
Then we try and protect through our imagination, through our own narrative.
Take it from a quarterback who's rearranged his player card after being sacked and knocked out.
That narrative is really hard to bust through to say, there is another answer.
Who's now trying to win others for himself.
And information is important, especially if you don't know.
And for a 15-year-old who never had the knowledge to play a healthy game.
Sometimes I feel like, like 9 years of my life was wasted. And I don't say wasted, but could have been redone, okay, had I had that information early on.
And here's the startling reality here in America. Middle-aged men in America, they're dying by suicide at an alarming rate. You see, men are 3.5 times more likely to die by suicide than women. And in 2015, there were 121 suicides every single day. 7 out of 10 of those were white males. That's about 85 suicides a day. And middle-aged white males between 45 and 65 are dying at the highest rate of suicide in America. So his intent here is to let people know, let males know, let everybody know that there are resources out there and that there are solutions. He didn't know there was a solution. He said he was sitting in on a talk at the University of Michigan one day, and he said, why don't I know this? Why are we not talking about this? And they said, we are talking about it. That's what we're doing. So they hired him. Now he works at Eisenhower Center. He breaks it down so that guys can understand it. There's a problem, fix it. It's a car, it's a plane, whatever it is. You take care of those things mechanically, take care of your brain mechanically.
That stigma you're talking about, and stereotypes too, and breaking them down not just for this, but across the board. So much of that is going on now.